Good morning. Here's another recording for today for our online teaching. It's March 20th, 2020, Monday. So we'll review tone today. We'll discuss what tone is about. You guys have probably forgotten this already. We'll look at different examples of tone and I will explain your task for today. So let's start. What is tone? So tone is the attitude. If you don't know what attitude is, it is the thoughts and feelings of the writer or speaker towards a person, place, or thing. So the writer can be talking about another character in the story or a place that he or she has visited or grown up, or maybe they have this favorite thing that they have. So you already know that they have positive feelings about that object, or maybe there's an item or object that reminds them about bad memories. So that's like, a negative attitude that the writer or speaker has toward that thing. So let's look at a few examples here. So let's start with the simple ones, okay? So we have positive, negative, and then neutral. Remember, neutral is not positive or not negative. So we'll start with the simple ones, okay? So basically, there are three sentences here. We will figure out which one is a positive, negative, or neutral. Okay, the first one is, I can't believe that you are doing this to me. I thought you were my friend. Okay, so if we go back here, what kind of tone would that be? Would that be positive, negative, or neutral? I'm going to give you guys a couple of minutes to think about that. So if you said it's a negative tone, you are right. So negative words like can't, okay, shows you that's like, okay, it's negative, not good. I thought you were my friend, so that person is actually did something maybe to hurt the other person, okay? So we can agree that that's a negative tone. Okay, let's make this smaller so we can see the others. Okay, the next one is, that's great that we are going on a trip. Okay, so is that positive, negative, or neutral? I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes to think about that. If you said that it's a positive tone, you are correct. So words like great, fabulous, awesome, excellent will help you determine or figure out that the tone is positive. Okay, so let's make this one smaller so we can see the last one. So the last one is, Miss Jones, I'd like to see you in my office. So what's the tone for that? Is that positive, negative, or neutral? If you said that it's neutral, you are right. Okay, because this one, it doesn't tell you that it's good or bad because it's just asking you to go to the office. Now, the conversation will let you know if it's positive or negative, but for now, it is a neutral tone. Okay, so let's look at another example. Okay, sometimes tone can be other things also, not just positive, negative, or neutral. Some examples of tone that I will share with you guys. One of them is sarcastic, using words which is the opposite of what you mean to insult someone or show irritation. So let's say that an example of this is, for example, you hate eating, let's say, hot dogs. And your mom or dad makes a hot dog for lunch or dinner. Then if you are being sarcastic, you say, oh, this is great. I love this food. Okay, so this is sarcastic because we already know that you hate hot dogs, but you're saying the opposite. Remember, sarcastic, opposite of what you mean. And it's showing irritation, like you're annoyed, you don't like something. Okay, so that's example of sarcastic. Discontent is you are just not satisfied or pleased or happy with something. So for example, we can say some people are discontent that they have to stay at home and not go anywhere because of the coronavirus. So that's an example of discontent. Enthusiastic is to feel or show excitement about something. So for example, if you like soccer, you are enthusiastic playing the game or watching it on TV. Okay, so those are other examples of tone. So let's look at this. 2, 4, 6, 8, we ain't gonna integrate, my 8th grade students shouted with gust. Okay, so what is the tone? Do you think it's sarcastic, A, or B? Do you think they're showing discontent, or C, do you think they are showing enthusiasm, or they are enthusiastic about what's happening? Actually, let me make it a bit smaller. Okay, so let's go back to it. It says 2, 4, 6, 8 ain't gonna integrate, my 8th grade student shouted with gust. So I'm gonna give you guys a couple of minutes to think about that. Is it A, sarcastic, B, discontent, or C, enthusiastic? Okay, if you said discontent, you are right. So this is the tone. So we look back. Ain't is another word for no or not, right? And then it's saying not integrate means that they're not gonna, you know, assimilate, or remember during segregation, the schools are like separated into black and white. So the black students go to one school, the white students go to one school. Integration means you're mixing them. So some people don't want that to happen back in the day. Okay, so words like ain't, integrate will tell you that they are not happy or satisfied that the laws are changing and that the schools are going to integrate. Okay, so what's gonna happen now is we're gonna look back at the reading, the life of a U.S. industrial worker, because we are going to find the tone in each paragraph. Okay, so this is what you have to answer. You have to tell me the page number, what is the tone, and what does it say in the story. Okay, so I'm gonna give, oops, let's close that. So I'm gonna give you guys an example. Let's start rereading, I mean, paragraph 1, because you guys have read this already last Thursday or Friday. So you will just review this. Okay, imagine you're 10 years old. How do you spend your day? Playing, watching TV, going to school. Now imagine you're 10 years old after the Industrial Revolution in the late 1800s, with factories booming all around you. Now how do you spend your day? A lot differently. You probably have a job. You work in a factory between 10 and 14 hours a day. The air is filled with dust and smoke. Your fingers bleed from working so much. What do you get for all of this hard work? About 50 cents a day. Okay, so I'm gonna choose a sentence here. We can say that this one, oops, where are we? We can say that this one is, the tone is negative or dismal. Dismal is another word for sad, right? The tone is sad because they are not happy about their working condition and their life. Okay, so we have to find, so I can say page 1, paragraph 1. Okay, and then let's look at what sentence I can choose. You can say your fingers bleed from working so much. Okay, so I have to do that here. Your fingers bleed from working too much. So another example I can add is about 50 cents a day. So you can say you work in a factory between 10 and 14 hours a day to get about 50 cents a day. So I can add that here also. This is just another example, okay? You work for 10 to 14 hours a day to get about 50 cents a day, okay? So let me make this bigger actually. Okay, so we can say again that the tone is negative or dismal. You can find in the dictionary other words that tell you that it's negative or dismal, okay? So that's page 1, paragraph 1, okay? So now we go to paragraph 2. And then we'll find something again, okay? So if you want to find some words, let's say you are looking for, oops, I'll show you guys a thesaurus that you can go to. So thesaurus. So if you click this one, you can put the word negative, okay? And then it will show you different meanings of the word negative. You can say gloomy, which is a little bit sad, pessimistic, and then there are more words, okay? Or you want to find the meaning or another word for bad, okay? Because I want you guys to use other words that are, you know, words that middle schoolers would be used. So you can use the word awful, dreadful, lousy, okay? And there are more words over here. Okay, so let's go back to paragraph 2. And then let's find one more information, and then you guys would do the rest on your own, okay? So, for paragraph 2, let's read this. The Industrial Revolution was really good for some people. Poor children were not some of them. A factory owner's job was to make as much stuff as quickly and cheaply as possible, then sell it as quickly and for as much money as possible. Even though you're 10, it's your job to make things go quickly. Here, stand in this place for 12 hours and screw tops onto as many bottles as you can. Yes, it's cold. Yes, the bottles hurt your hands. Yes, you're standing in a puddle with holes in your shoes. Also, you need to crawl into this giant machine when it breaks. Your boss doesn't want to hear any complaining, and if you do, you might get whipped. Okay, so let's stop there. Let's choose this one. Okay, so your boss doesn't want to hear any complaining, and if you do, you might get whipped. So you type that here. Your boss doesn't want to hear any complaining. If you do, you might get whipped. Okay, so maybe we can say that the tone is unfair. Okay, because it's not right that someone would do that to you. Okay, and then as I said, when you go to the thesaurus, you can find other words. Okay, so what you have to do is go to page 2. What other paragraphs do we have? We have paragraph 3. Okay, so find something for paragraph 3. And then if you go to page 2, there are 6 more paragraphs, okay? So you go to, sorry, not that one. You go to page 1, paragraph 3, page 2, you need something for paragraph 4, and then page 2, paragraph 5, and page 2 again, paragraph 6. Okay, so I want you guys to find different kinds of tones here. Make sure you use different kinds of words also, not just the same words. See how here I'm using dismal and here I'm using the word unfair. So make sure that you are using different words for tone. Even though they're negative, I'm still using different kinds of words. Okay, so I need this work by 5 p.m. today. You guys have a good one. If you have any question, you can send me a message on Instagram. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.